I was looking at and counting up 4 stars from various states, and not surprisingly, Florida was in the 40 range. California was a shade down from what they've been, more in the 30 range, so on and so forth. Georgia's obviously become a power as well and almost joined the big three. Ohio was in the 10 or 12 range, and some other states. What are your guys' evaluation and what is being talked about in regards to Ohio high school football and these 2 classes that we're looking at right now, 22 and 23, the level of play in Ohio?
I was going to say Ohio always has kids. I think one of the things that separates Ohio from a lot of places is the coaching. I think Ohio high school football coaching is far and away among the tops of the tops of the tops. I mean, I've seen coaches who have kind of been middle to middle plus in Ohio go to even Florida and just have huge success. I mean, because they go to a place where they might have some more talent around them, but they can coach. And I've certainly seen places in like Florida, another place where they've been just, you can't shake a stick without hitting a couple of high 4 stars and they can't do anything. But I think that recruiting in Ohio, Cleveland has dried up largely. You're still going to, St. Ignatius is still going to have some dudes or whatever, but when was the last time we talked about Glenville? When was the last time Glenville had like a high 1A type of kid? It's been a minute. And I think that we've seen a lot more of the recruitable kids out of Ohio come from the 5-6 counties around Columbus and central Ohio, and then the Dayton Cincinnati corridor. I mean, you're going to have some guys that are going to be, a little bit beyond that. You're going to have some guys that are going to come out of Toledo or whatever. But, I think Cleveland, the lack of depth in Cleveland has really kind of brought Ohio back toward the pack in terms of talent producing states. I mean, it used to be California, Florida, and Texas were top 3. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia were kind of in that next cut. And I still think when you look at the top kids, I think Ohio still turns, can compete with anybody in terms of its top 3 to 5 kids. But I don't know if 6 through 12 are always going to be up to par to where they've been for years to come or for years in the past. And I think that the lack of Cleveland's contribution is part of the blame.
Yeah, I think this whole region is a little bit down, or has been in recent years. Pennsylvania used to be a major talent-producing state. I think it's kind of fallen off the map a little bit. Michigan is always just kind of, up one, down the next type thing. Never a consistent talent producer. And that, Michigan's best teams have been, based on guys from Ohio and around the country a lot of times, as much as they are from the state of Michigan. So Ohio, Urban Meyer recruited nationally, and he had those inroads in Florida and Georgia and places like that to go down and get those blue chip players. And he didn't necessarily need to take a reach on an Ohio kid, as Jim probably did a few times. And some of those worked out. Some of them, maybe they didn't. But I wouldn't say Ohio's down. I think it's just the case that Ohio State has the ability now and has for the last 5 or 6 years to be able to go anywhere in the country, get a top 50 or top 100 kid, Texas in particular, and haven't needed to rely on as much talent from the state of Ohio. So, they're still getting the top 4 or 5 guys from Ohio on a pretty consistent basis. Maybe one will slip away every here and now and then, but generally, they offer a kid from Ohio, they're going to tend to get most of the time.